Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Joe Scarice, live at Clubhouse, live at the Creative Bird Strategies podcast, providing you education, networking, and strategy every week, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Happy to be here. Another great week of real estate networking and opportunities. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. We're going to invite some our peeps and some of the clubhouse followers in the room. So we'll get started here discussing multiplying yourself in real estate. A lot of people think I multiply myself, but it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And we're going to talk about a couple facets of this. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it'll be a really unique discussion. So let me get some things in here and get started. Give me just a few minutes. I want to thank everybody for checking in here with us this morning. Always want to thank our sponsors, as always, Mr. Yardell Perkins of Perkatech, our social media strategist and architect, graphic art designer, pretty much the backbone to this podcast, and really the development of my personal social media brand over the last 10 years. Really, we're taking it kind of to the next level type of circumstances. I want to thank Realty 411, Ms. Linda Pelagas, who is a national publication, national event planner throughout the country. We've been in a line for the last several years post-COVID. I'd like to thank MB Capital Solutions, where I'm a direct referral partner with MB, providing unsecured business lines of credit for real estate professionals throughout the country. I want to thank Lendmark Capital, where I'm a senior loan analyst, providing asset-based lending nationwide in a DSCR, fixed to rent, fixed to flip, new construction, multifamily, mixed use, single family through four family space. And I'd like to thank Elite Dealmakers, where we are in association with New Jersey and in Philadelphia for some networking events that we collaborate every month. And I'd like to thank TCS Property Management and Maintenance, where my licenses are held for real estate, providing property management and maintenance services along the eastern coast, out probably pretty much east of the Mississippi. We have presence in various markets throughout the country there. So, little update here on events, which one is very exciting. We are aligning with the Owners Club and Sub 2 community, and through John McAllister, we are now going to be hosting events in South Jersey, North Jersey, Philadelphia, Lehigh Valley, Connecticut, Delaware. We're probably going into the fall, providing also Saturday events in Harrisburg and Philadelphia. I think we already have a Saturday event in Philadelphia, second Saturday of every month. We're going to go into Harrisburg. We're also opening up in central New Jersey. So we're going to have a compilation of about 10 events a month for the Sub 2, aka the Owners Club of the Pace Morby Group and community throughout the tri-state, or really the northern eastern market. I'm also coming up, I'm speaking at the Southeastern Expo in Greenville, South Carolina, as well as the Mr. Landlord Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana, coming up in June. So Greenville will be in South Carolina on the 28th and 29th, coming back to 30th of May. And then I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, with Mr. Landlord, Jeffrey Taylor, probably the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun discussing landlording techniques and property management and how it applies to asset-based lending. This week, we're in Jersey City with a Meet the Panel of direct private lenders tomorrow night at the 902 Brewery. Very excited about that. We have four other colleagues of mine. We're going to be discussing asset-based lending. Then Tuesday, we're going to be having a cigar event in my hometown, Kenilworth, New Jersey, at Fortuno Cigar Lounge. They make hand-rolled cigars. Wednesday, I'll be at the Jumpstart Germantown, a 10th year anniversary. And then we're hosting a happy hour at my office in Philadelphia on Thursday night, where it's with the UDA group, which is the Black and Brown developer community here in the Philadelphia market. Then we're just hitting Memorial Day weekend. Got a couple meetings on Friday, but really great week of networking, establishing or reestablishing relationships. And this really kind of ties into the, we're doing with my brand, at least with my website, with our podcast, with Yardell and I, and we've done some great updates to our pictures and our podcast information. So you get to see some of the characters we just put together, which is kind of cool. But we're going to discuss multiplying yourself in real estate, building leadership and building leaders. But let's talk about our market this week. I mean, the rates came down another eighth to a quarter point. Right now, commercial lending is probably in the sixes, somewhere in 6.875-ish to 7% on cash out, up to 75%. Up to purchase on single family on investment, you're probably somewhere around 7.8. Very competitive market, 30-year loans out there, very aggressive. Home buying from a consumer perspective, very flat. We're seeing some decreases in values throughout the country, not everywhere, but enough to make significant difference in the appraisal space. On the fixed to rent, fixed or flips side, rates are down as low as 8.99. A lot of brokers are coming to the front line and correspondents looking to get involved in the white label products with a lot of different lenders, including ourselves. So you're seeing an aggressive push of broker work and correspondent work getting involved in the mix of white label marketing. I don't see the tariffs making any significant impact right now. I think the media is just trying to put this scare into the circumstances. I really don't see concerns where it's slowing down the investor. I see still a very aggressive tone at all the events that I've been attending this past week. Nobody's slowing down. Everybody's trying to identify the next deal. Everybody's trying to find foreclosures, work out deals, creative ways of financing. Um, so I don't see a massive concern. The Fed made an announcement they're going to stay flat. They had to lay off 10% of their own staff. So who's to say the Fed's going to be around in the next couple of years? I mean, how significantly impacting are they to our economy at this point? And the whole tariff uncertainty is starting to clear, and we're starting to see where things are kind of lying. I mean, right now the government is negotiating out those type of deals with about 150 different countries. So a lot of moving parts there. But inflation's down a little bit. Job reports on the unemployment side still kind of a little wonky, but rates are staying extremely competitive for the investor. So for the self-employed, it's a very exciting time. I feel like there's a very unique opportunity for you to grow and build out your platform and scale as long as you surround yourself with the right, team of experts. Some other articles that caught my eye here this week: affordability gap weighs on U.S. consumer. So the affordability on rental, affordable housing affordability has kind of expanded a little bit. You're seeing larger apartments, rents are being discounted. A lot of days on the market on more the multifamily institutional apartments. People are finding themselves more comfortable in the single family row, especially in the urban settings. They don't want to be boxed up. They want to have that feeling of home ownership without the home ownership, kind of a hands-off approach. That was an interesting article that I'm going to probably, I think I posted this past week, or if I haven't, I will be posting. Let's see here. Renters affordability improves as they adhere to the 30% rule. So more renters are living below their means, which is extremely significant change over the last a couple of years where people were living above their means. We're seeing more of a balancing act here because down the road there is the goal of owning real estate, of home ownership, but they want to kind of give it a couple of years. They don't want to over leverage themselves. They see a unique opportunity for themselves to stay balanced and affordability. So you're seeing that's an article I think I just posted. Some of the most impacted cities are obviously Miami, New York, Los Angeles, Boston, and San Diego. Some of the more affordable cities that are out there for renters. Keep an eye out on Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Austin, Round Rock, San Marcos, Texas, Columbus, Ohio is still up in the top five. Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina, and Minneapolis, St. Paul, Bloomington, Minnesota, Wisconsin. So there's very interesting markets and affordable rental markets. This means also a significant sign for the landlord to identify as well. The barrier of entry there might be a little better. Let's get started with our discussion today. Multiplying yourself in real estate and building leaders. So I put some thought to this. The phrase multiplying yourself sounds like a very powerful mission statement or slogan aimed at leadership development within the real estate industry. I put a couple ways of how you can refine or expand it depending on your goals, branding, training, coaching. You know, Refine slogan options. You want to think about it. Multiply your impact, building real estate leaders, or from agent to leader, multiply your legacy in real estate, or empowering your real estate pros to lead, grow, and multiply. Develop leaders, duplicate success, dominate real estate. Lead the way, multiply yourself, and build real estate giants. So, whether you're a real estate agent or a real estate investor trying to build out a team, you need to kind of find that way or that niche to scale and find the entrusting other team members to work with you in a leadership role. So it's a very fast moving pace in what our space is. So you got to who are the most important people in your team of experts, how to multiply yourself as a real estate professional, right? Obviously, a good real estate agent, buyer and listing specialist, right? There's agents that are very good at buying or listing. I very hard to find both that could be perfect at it or really good at it. Also, a transaction coordinator. The better real estate agents or real estate professionals that are in the wholesaling space or discount off market deals have a transaction coordinator or an admin or an executive assistant. And then, do you have that real estate attorney to go to bounce stuff off of the legalities, the structuring of a partnership, or the selling of a property, or a good accountant or CPA or bookkeeping service to bounce different questions off of? And how many mortgage lenders do you have in your stable, right? Do you have the broker? Do you have the regulated banker? Do you have the direct private lender? Who do you have in your stable to make that difference? Then there's the contractors, the inspectors, and the property managers. Irony enough, I've gotten two or three property managers that have reached out to me that wanted to have a sit down with me to see how we can work together. And that's definitely a different type of inbound inquiry. In the past quarter, in the past 2 weeks, I've had three property managers reach out to me to want to have to sit down and talk about how we can work together. How can we help one another? And have you considered a business coach or mentor or strategic advisor? Understanding your purpose, understanding your why. The way that we run our mastermind events throughout the Northeast region is I always ask people what is their why in a 30-second elevator pitch, who you are, what you do, and what is your why. And there's no reason why you can't get bullet pointed down in 30 seconds. You really need to think about that going into this week. We have a very competitive market. There's a lot of people out there trying to do what you do and better. What are they doing? How are they separating themselves from you and others to make a difference in their bottom line? Then there's virtual assistants. I made a conscious decision this past year, probably 6 months ago, maybe longer than that. I brought an entire virtual assistant team in to facilitate my marketing, my networking, my operations, working with Yordell. Yordell is one social media administrator, can't do it all. So we had to build out a team that we can trust and train to separate ourselves from the rest. I feel like, and I tell people this, I feel like in my space, I'm competing with companies. I'm not competing with other LOs or other loan lending teams. I'm competing with bigger structured entities. So I have to present myself in a very specific way in brand that one, I'm approachable, two, I'm traditionally available, and three, my response and my communication is at my best. So I think that a lot of that is very important. So again, some things there, and then we're going to dive a little bit more into multiplying yourself with your social media brand. What is the core concept to who you are? How are you leveraging social media? Have you done a Google audit on yourself? Do you have a Google business profile? What's your LinkedIn look like? What's your Facebook business profile look like? What does your YouTube look like? What does your Instagram look like? What does your TikTok look like? Is there a consistency there? Is there your Twitter account being worked? Are the right pictures up? Are they you? Are you branding yourself correctly with the right theme over and over and over again? Delegating and automating. We're always, well, Yardell and I are always looking at ways of automating things. So I'm sitting down with the guys from Sub Two, and they're working on a system to send out certain types of interactive discussions with my investors in my database. We're working on that now. We should have something rolled out in the next week. Very interactive, very chatbot oriented, and I'm building a team within that group because they want to white label and they want to also provide um, brokerage or correspondent work working with me. So we're working together in a team like atmosphere, and we're specializing to scale. Your brand is your leverage. Your brand equals your leverage. People want to work with people they see and trust. Your social media is a digital storefront. Keep it open 24/7. And create that evergreen content. And what I mean by evergreen, you want people to come back to you 5, 10 years after the fact. Hey Joe, I just I've been following you on something. I've been, and you put some unique content out, and I wanted to give you a call. We haven't talked in 5 years. Love to catch up with you. That's the kind of conversations you want to have and see. And building a system of content creation. I know it's tough, but you got to be putting out articles and polls and inquiries and video work and responding to people when they respond to you on your social media platform, right? Do a podcast. Why haven't we done a podcast together? Why haven't I interviewed you as a one-on-one? It's not that complicated. A professional picture, a brief bio, a subject of discussion, and 10 questions. There's your podcast, right? Affiliate partnerships and opportunities. That's another way of expanding your business. Make sure it makes sense within your space, of course, but there's great referral programs that are out there, like the unsecured business lines of credit. I also have a title company. I also have an insurance company. I have my licenses. So there's referral programs within my space. A successful real estate professional should have 3 or 4 different revenue streams coming in. My real estate holdings, right? So there's a lot of different things that I do to multiply the opportunity, making sure that my bank statement stays full as well. Good morning, Timothy. Welcome. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion, multiplying yourself in real estate, building leaders.
Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, room. Thank you for having me up again. Joseph, actually a very good topic. If you're building or trying to market your brand, no matter what it is, knowing one of the things that I don't know if it was mentioned yet or not was, and I stepped in a little bit later, is knowing what your target is, knowing what your overall goal is, and then designing and inking what your marketing strategy is. Another idea would be that I would have on this as well is run that by people who are subject matter experts in marketing, social marketing, getting having your name rise up into the Google searches by knowing what the right AdWords are or what the right buzzwords are to trigger that result when somebody Googles what you do. But Joseph, again, very good discussion this morning, especially those who are looking to market their business or market their product. Again, I'm Timothy Doyle. I'm a buy and hold real estate investor up here in the greater Lehigh Valley, owner of Steel Hill Properties. Remember, if you can't buy it, steal it. Joseph, thank you, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, great hearing from you, Tim. I haven't seen you in a quick minute. I haven't been up in the Lehigh Valley event with Garrett in a couple of months. So I have it in my radar coming up in the summertime. But I've been focusing on the Bethlehem event that I hold the second Wednesday of the month at the Bethlehem Brew Works, actually.
Awesome. Hey, Joseph, do me a favor. Could you send me an email and or send me a text and remind me? I've been a little busy with my wife's been recovering from surgery and busy trying to get this house together while it's somewhat nice outside, although it did rain all week up here.
Oh my
So,
God. Did you see that rain a couple days ago? Crazy, crazy, crazy rain.
oh
So
yeah,
prayers out to the wife there, Timothy.
thank you.
My pleasure. So knowing your real estate goals or targets are the foundation of building a scalable, intentional, and fulfilling real estate profession and career. Without clear targets, you're just reacting instead of leading. We need to clarify and dominate some of the real estate goals. Like why knowing your goal matters. Like clarity equals power, direction fuels decision, motivation follows vision. Then you got to define the real estate goals, break it down short term, midterm, long term. You got the short term, which is 0 to 12 months. How many transactions you want to do, how many income targets you want to hit, how many building social media presences you need to create, how many niche focuses do we need to look at. Like I was talking to Yardell just this morning. Hey, we got to update our video for the podcast because we got all these new pictures and characters and want to add that. Yep, noted. Boom. We're going to send it to our Google team. Boom. It'll get updated this week. I got to put 5 articles out. I got to put 2 polls out. I got to make a bunch of phone calls, post a podcast. Then you got to look at your midterm, 1 to 3 years. Build a small team, be consistent, continuous. If it's a matter of buying or owning investment properties, maybe goal set one a year or two a year. Then there's the long term, the 3 to 10 year, the financial freedom. Through real estate. I'm very thankful. I am bill free. There's no bills. It's just on whatever's in front of me is my bill. That month to month, everything's been addressed, paid off. I just want to be able to facilitate whatever's in front of me. And then you gotta think about long term. What's your brand partnership? Like me, like is Lenmark my brand at this point? Like, are we together? Is it going to be the long term haul? Are we going to grow together? We're going to get sea legs together, and are we going to recognize one another at the top? And then what are some of the smart targets? Like, I want more clients, be specific, be measurable, be achievable, be relevant, time bound, right? Time kills deals. And reserve engineer your plan. Like, how many deals per month you want to do? How many leads needed per week? How many inbound leads you want to take on every day? Don't tell me you want to take on 100. I want to take on the right leads. Okay. Where are they coming from? Is it social media? Is it cold outreach? Is it referrals? Is it introductions? What marketing or content needs to support that? And listen, not every client's perfect for you. Like I've had conversations with you, hey, send me your information. I'll take a look. Never hear from them. Crickets. Guess what? I'm not going to chase that person down. They're not willing to go out of their way to send me what I need to see. Why would I want to go out of my way to see what they don't want me to see? Maybe they're just not telling the truth. Okay. You got to align your social media and your daily habits. Your brand should reflect your goals. ROI, flips, cash flow, first time home buyers, talk financing, steps, myths. Use some type of tracker on calls and follow ups and content, posted lead generation. We're probably posting anywhere from 3 to 4 posts a day on different aspects: education, inspiration, motivation, video, pictures, interviews, polls, blogs. Audit and adjust. We did something differently with the podcast through um, YouTube and Facebook. We're now seeing 3 to 4 thousand views a week. Okay, we're getting a higher viewership, a higher download on our podcast by just flipping things around. What needs to change? What is working? What is not working? Are your goals still aligned with your lifestyle vision? Your goals should match your life, not just your ambition. Joe, don't chase $1 million a year if your real dream is freedom and time with family. Build smart, not just big. Good morning, Felix. Brief overview of who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion. Multiplying yourself in real estate building leaders.
Grand Rising, Joe. Grand Rising, everybody. Felix Buchanan Sr.,
Buchanan Biz, Buchanan Team, the JLix Group, also a team leader of a real estate company. I think the discussion is definitely very great. You came up with, and Tim said a lot of good things. Some that I'll piggyback on, some that I'll, add to. Definitely, what are your goals? You got to know what it is that you're aiming for. You got to know why you're going after it. That is your game plan. That's your business plan as to this is what I need to accomplish. This is how many people I need to talk to every week, like you were saying earlier, every month, every year. Real estate is a numbers game. How many people do you talk to? If you talk to 100 people a week, out of that 100, maybe 10 to 20 may actually respond. Of the 10 to 20, only about 3 to 5 are actually going to move forward. So you need to know your KPIs. How many people do I need to talk to? In what genre, with figuring out what your niche is. You mentioned that as well earlier. What are the things that I know that I'm great at? And this is what's going to drive the business that I bring in because this is the message that I'm sending. This is the marketing that I'm doing. This is the level of advertising, like you guys said, keywords. A lot of the stuff you have to figure out what your plan is first before you just jump out there and say, oh, I'm going to spend money in these different areas because you can go ahead and spend money and then it'll be a waste because you didn't properly, you know, figure out what your niche was and why you needed to market that way. Um, what is the message that you're sending to the audience that you're targeting because of the fact that this is your plan, this is your niche, because you just don't want to send out a message that, oh, I'm advertising this, and then you can't complete whatever it is that you done sent the message out about because your message wasn't clear due to the fact that you're not having the proper plan. What partnerships do you have? Who are you attached to, and making sure that the people that you're partnered with are leading in that particular field? They are giving you the proper advice. They are pulling their weight within the partnership because you could have a partnership that you're doing all the work. Then what was the benefit of that? Uh, Again, short term and long term goals. This is what you need to do in year one. This is what you need to do per quarter so that it equals out to what your 3 and 5 year and 7 year plan is. Education, definitely being a market leader in what it is that you're doing to get the education to make sure that the information that you're putting out, make sure that you have the right mentors, make sure that you're listening to the right podcasts, listening to the right information on YouTube, so that you know that the information that you're passing on to your clients and your sphere of influence, that you know that the information is very much factual because people will check. And then, of course, knowing your KPIs. You got to know what it is that the your target of how many, as I was saying earlier, people that you need to talk to, knowing all your numbers so that you know that this is where your level of success is. You know that if you talk to this amount of many people, if you put out this level of advertising, you put out these postcards, you're paying attention to where everything is coming from. So you know where you need to spend more money at in the future and where you need to pull back in. And that's my knowledge for the day.
Felix, thank you for coming up as always. So let's talk about some of the pros that you've seen in results by being part of this new team that you're working with and managing out. How's it going with you?
It's coming along. A couple of them quit. 2 or 3 agents left because of the accountability. A few of them are doing better. It's been a little bit of a fight because a lot of them, from a mindset standpoint, my broker partner gave them a lot. So, oh, if I don't want to work with this client, he would give them clients. So he never really put them in a position to have to fight for themselves. And a lot of them, the mindset, that's really more what I've been working on than really honestly working on sales because a lot of them need to be replaced and we need to bring in new agents, just to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, spoon-fed leads don't really lead to anything. I know of groups that buy leads. I think that's the worst. I mean, to be honest with you, buying leads, I think if you're not out there, I mean, listen, you're in the Baltimore market. There's 10 events a month that your team can go to, right? And meet 20 people. Now, if they all meet, two to three, if they're out 2 to 3 times a week, whether it's chamber related or investor friendly related, they can meet somewhere between 50 and 100 people a week. That's your lead base. That's the best kind of leads because it's introductions, reintroductions, um, moving forward, connecting with them on LinkedIn, staying in touch with them, collaborating on a podcast, collaborating on an event together for that matter, or teaming up with them at other events, right? You're spearheading in the meeting. I mean, have you thought about that and kind of set a requirement? Hey, we need to get out there twice a week, not once a week, twice a week, to one real estate related event and one neutral business to business type event. Have you kind of set that standard yet, maybe, or thought about that? And have you got any feedback on that as well?
I did. The You just gave me an idea because you gave me two. One of the ideas I already spoke of. One of the things that I told them that if they didn't reach their contacts of contacting people within their database, they needed to go to a mall, go to a public area, pass out their business card. So only one of them took that challenge. To me, I looked at it like if you're going to be a real estate agent, when I was a young real estate agent, I was everywhere. New York, New Jersey. When you were doing RIA meetings, I drive all the way to New York. I come to New Jersey. Not to say that I still won't now, just better situating my schedule. But I was everywhere. I was in Virginia. Didn't matter where the business was. And I don't see that the real estate people, real estate agents are that eager. I understand that, yes, social media provide this level of touching people. However, there's nothing better than face to face than people seeing you in the room.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I'll give you a great example. So Thursday night, I didn't feel like driving. I was busy the whole week. I was getting kind of winding it down. Then I knew I had to go leave for North Jersey for a wedding that I was at yesterday. And I decided to do something local, something that was just, within 20 minutes. Also, I was going to be able to grab dinner with my wife afterwards. I said, hey, hon, why don't we go to an event together, right? She's in the massage therapy environment. She has a chair massage company. She has a school with licensed massage therapy licensing. So the chair massage was the segue. Every time I was talking to a couple young ladies about real estate related, hey, by the way, my wife, Donna's right here. She offers chair massage, for maybe you want to consider that for a some type of thank you to your clients or a maybe appreciation day, something. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they all start talking. And I was able to kind of walk away after I made the introduction. It was like I got myself in and I got myself out. You know what I mean? Because sometimes too long of a conversation with somebody, it can go a couple of different ways, and traditionally it doesn't go well. So I was able to kind of like hand somebody off to somebody. Like when I ran into you, Felix, yeah, it was good seeing you. But did I hand you off to a couple of people and move on to other people?
Absolutely.
I already know you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like we got to recreate the wheel together. We leveraged one another. You talked to a couple of people, you introduced them to me, vice versa, because we wanted to move through the room. We wanted to work the room.
Yep.
We wanted to leverage and market ourselves and as kind of the host of the event without being the host of the event. A lot of people don't understand that when you go into an event, you need to be the host of your own that event. You don't want to step on the hostess feet, but you need to work that room. You got a chameleon around. There was about 30 people at this event on Thursday night. I got to talk to every single person. And then I'm done. I don't need to hang out longer. I'm not their drinking buddies. We're not long lost friends. I left. We did the Irish goodbye and we rolled and went and had dinner. And you know what, Felix? I had better follow up with at least three of the people. Immediate follow up the next day. Everybody got an email that I got their cards, whoever had a card or texted me their information. They got an email. Thank you for meeting with me. I really appreciate the time. If there's anything I can do to assist you, this is what I do. If I can make an introduction, please let me know. And guess what? I had 3 or 4 people follow up with me right away.
Yeah, but I think also, like you said, to piggyback something that you said earlier in the conversation, which was we basically became the host of the room. No disrespect to the guy that was there but we both provided more significant value than him because of our experience. So same here. About about 4 or 5 of the people they did reach out to me, and I'm currently working with them. However, it's the value of education and knowledge that we had. That the host, he was 2 years into the business. What was he going to really do with us with that level of experience? No disrespect to him.
Well, the irony enough, they actually reached out to me to sponsor an event, and it was astronomical. It was like something like $2,500. I'm like, you're asking me for $2,500. I don't know any of the people in your room, and you're not going to allow me to speak. And there's really all I'm doing is paying for your food for your event. And I'm like, no, I'll take a pass. I'll just how much does it cost to just attend? Oh, it's $49. Guess what? I'll pay $49 and I'll get as much out of that room than the $2,500. I'll bet the difference of that the $49 and the $2,500 that I'll get more return for my money if I decide to come.
Absolutely.
It's not always smart to spend big money. Sometimes the mentality to marketing and networking is more British Bulldog versus Spanish Armada. You don't always have to spend thousands of dollars. Sometimes it's just a matter of showing up and being present, having a business card, looking clean cut, ready to go. Be there 20 minutes early. Be there when the host is setting up and introduce yourself or the hostess. Hey, can I collaborate with you next time and putting an event together? I'm thinking about putting something together. There's nothing wrong with that. Like if I was going to do something in Baltimore, I'd call you. I know you.
Right.
Right now, we're getting as close to Baltimore as Harrisburg right now. So like to me, that's a little more. I'm focusing on that. Will Baltimore be on my radar in the second quarter, at the last quarter of the year, maybe, or the first quarter of next year? There's only so many goals you can fit in what we do and getting and expanding our fishnet, right?
Right.
So the great question, and thank you, Felix.
Sure.
A powerful prompt for personal branding and interviews and listing presentations or social media content. You got to break down how you identify and communicate what separates you from other real estate professionals. Start with some differentiator categories. Where do I offer something others don't or do better? Like Felix brought up a very good point. The gentleman that was running the event, very nice individual, but like it was in the business about 2 weeks comparatively to where Felix and we didn't make him feel uncomfortable. We kind of leveraged him out. We asked him a lot of questions to help him progress in the discussion. But then we took advantage of that because people saw that we were very interactive in the room. We worked that angle the minute that we broke for networking. So we provided and showed our expertise in deep market knowledge of a specific area or niche. So you got to find niche or niches. You can't do too many niches because then you look scatterbrained. Where's your experiences lie the most? Like, where are your strengths? Is it staging? Is it interior design? Is it renovation? Is it lending? Is it real estate sales? Is it buying or listing side? Focus. And you got to be very service based. You got hyper responsive communication. You got to reply quick or text back, hey, I'm going to get back to you right away. Concierge level service, moving assistance, contractor connections. Lifetime client support, not just a close and ghost model. I tell everybody that does a fix to rent, fix to flip, or DSCR, we close a loan. I don't disappear. Please email me. Everything. CC me on everything so I can help you keep moving forward. And brand marketing based. Strong social media presence to promote, custom video tours or drone footage or digital marketing strategies. I mean, if you're seeing a lot of my new blog posts, whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of it is very interactive, very video oriented. Okay, we're just taking it to the next step. I'm enhancing my budget and I'm seeing better results. I'm seeing better communications. I'm seeing better qualitative inbound. Right? Getting 100 calls is great. Getting 10 really great calls is awesome. And you want to be relationship based. Strong local network equals off market deals and faster closings. Reputation built on integrity, referrals, and results. And then you got your mindset values based, right? You got to be empathy and driven approach, making clients feel safe, not sold. Educational, not transactional, especially for the first time individuals that are either buying a home for themselves or buying a new investment property, the nervous Nellies, right? Hustle plus heart. Treat every deal like it's your own property. And then you got to combine hard and soft skills like clarity, confidence, and leverage. So you're not just making a move, you're building a future. And what separates me and combine data-driven strategy versus human first service. So, there's only so much robotic AI that'll accomplish work. The personal touch, the personal call, like having these long drawn out text message conversations. Just call the person. Oh my gosh. Like sometimes these texts are just going forever. I'm like, I just had to get on a call with you. I just want to, I get a kick out of the Facebook Messenger legends. Um, they want you to give the entire schmeal on Facebook Messenger without talking to you. That's not going to work with me. Eventually, if you don't want to talk to me, we're not going to do a deal together. It's a pretty easy equation for me. Personalized relationships to me are so important. That's what separates me, I feel, from other real estate professionals. Right? What's your paired commitment to help them have a much better close or much better circumstance to what you're doing, whether it's buying or selling? The best differentiators aren't just what you say, but how consistently you show them in your content, your client communication, and your results. So when you come back to Felix, and I'll go back to Timothy. Well, Timothy, you got a few thoughts to what I just went over? Timothy going once, Timothy going twice. We'll go to yeah. There you go.
Sorry about that, Joe.
It's okay.
Sorry about that, Joe. No, trying to find the unmute button. Honestly, no, the thoughts are all right on. Completely get it. And the topics that Felix had brought up and networking and getting yourself out there. If that's your main drive of business is, my business model is a little different because I am still currently an FTE, a double FTE now. Well, actually part-time one spot and full-time with running projects with a local hospital. So that has been keeping me busy, Joseph, as you may know. But someone, if this is their, primary bread and butter, this is what pays the bills and keeps the lights on, then align yourself with what your business model is. Get out there, meet people, show your face, get to know somebody. Face value has a lot to add to when you're looking at creating business deals. Again, it also depends on what your entire business model is, what you're putting out there. For example, if I'm, in real estate, as many of us are, we're not going to want to go to like a widget or a rubber ducky convention to make connections in real estate. So, Joseph, everything you and Felix had put out there is very good material. So again, Timothy Doyle, Steel Hill Properties. Remember, if you can't buy it, steal it. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Timothy. I think also you need to help yourself craft a personal elevator pitch or a very specific bio of who you are, right? That personalized elevator pitch should be 30 to 45 seconds. I'll give you an example. I am a real estate professional who specializes in and I help my clients do more than just buy or sell a home. I help them make confident, strategic moves that align with their bigger life goals. What sets me apart is my focus on whether it's social media driven marketing, concierge level service, first time home buyer education, negotiation expertise, and my commitment to provide a clear, stress free, results driven experience from start to finish. That's 30 seconds. Done. Or your Instagram or your Facebook bio should be 150 characters max. Very professional and clear. Strategy plus service plus results. Let's plan your next move. Or personality driven. Real estate with strategy and soul. DM me home to get started. Niche focused. first time home buyer expert in your city or specific market. Make your real estate simple, smart, and social. Start the journey. Some tailored versions too as well. Niche your ideal client, city or market area, or personal style. Professional, bold, friendly, luxury. You don't want to look too like I do get a kick out of some of the real estate agents that look too luxury, where somebody might not feel comfortable to call them to talk about a rehab property, because maybe they feel like it's below, the client might think it's below you. You got to concern yourself with that. I think some offices do the same thing as well. They kind of put themselves in a classification where they don't want to look at the lower hanging fruit. Um, I think that the whole industry from real estate agent perspective is shape shifting right now. It'll be interesting to see how AI contracts or contrasts a lot of the different things that hook onto the realtor, like where's NAR going and where is these realtor associations are going, where's the appraisal environment going? Like it's changing. And I think in the next 24 months, you're going to see drastic changes in the title, appraisal, um, the whole closing process. Lending is changing too. A lot of AI is being infiltrated. I mean, like I said, I'm spending more money now on social media in the last year than the previous 5 years because I see where it needs to be spent. It has to make sense. You got to look at the cost benefit relationship, and it ties back to multiplying yourself in real estate. So, if a lot of you don't know, there's a track of 95 that drives down toward Florida, and there's 152 billboards on the way down at a certain starting spot. I think it's right past Virginia that leads into south of the border. It's a fireworks warehouse, and there's 152 billboards. You almost want to pull over and get sick because you've seen so many billboards to this place, and then you get there, and it's just a warehouse selling fireworks. And then there's another. And then if you're on your way up from Florida, there's about 146 billboards on the way up to this same warehouse. So that's their advertising, is billboard advertising, over and over and over and over again. It's the consistency and the continuity makes them a successful fireworks warehouse. So you need to obviously be consistent in what you do, brand yourself correctly, market yourself correctly in whatever landscape you want to tackle in real estate, and that will build leadership. That will build a following. You don't need followers. It'll build a following. You hire people to follow you. When they're being paid and making money, they're going to follow you. Don't worry. Trust me. If they're seeing a financial benefit being aligned with you, they will follow you. That's how team of experts work. We're a very service-oriented environment. Felix, any thoughts to our so far the discussion on multiplying yourself in real estate building leaders?
Yeah, my final thoughts would be something that you mentioned just again. Like I was gonna add that AI is going to be very important as moving forward. There are a lot of people that are scared of it. They think, oh, they're replacing humans, this, that, and the third. It really isn't. If you get to learn it at a platform right now that it's new to everybody. Why? Because all of the information that AI is generating and discovering and everything, it's new. So the more that you get to learn about it, it puts you in the lead because the AI bots, the chat boxes, all of those things are going to be able to respond for you as you teach it to respond the way that you want it to, so that you can get really quick responses to the certain clients that whether they reached out to you at 4 o'clock in the morning, at least your AI bot will respond to it, engage in it. And then when you wake up at whatever time, now you know that you have a lead and you need to contact this lead. And the AI got all the answers to the questions so that when you call the person back, it ends up being a warm lead as if they were referred to you by someone and it was actually the bot doing its job and asking all the proper questions that then puts you ahead of a lot of people. So even though we just did have this discussion last week about AI on the podcast, that would be a very good thing to really get involved in reference to building yourself. That's the way that the world is going, and I think that that would be very, very beneficial for everyone to, even if you're not interested in it now, to look into it to get to better learning. And that's my extra knowledge for the day.
Thank you, Mr. Felix, as always. Continuity, and I'm going to kind of come around on this. Continuing and consistency as a real estate investor versus a real estate agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, both continuing consistency are critical in both real estate investing and being an agent, but how they show up and impact your success is different. I'm going to break it down, and Felix would love to get your feedback on this. So, real estate investor is building long-term wealth through asset ownership. The income model is passive, rents, equity flips. The time frame is long-term vision. Clients may be solo or work with lenders, tenants, and partners. Now, the agent earning income through transactions and services. The income models act very more commissions, referrals, services. Time frame is short-term, mid-term sales cycles. And the clients work directly with buyers, sellers, and landlords. So, as an investor, the mindset's different. You're buying and holding strategy. Your market fluctuates, right? It continually builds experience, more deals, the better your eye for value. As an agent, your reputation and brand builds over time. Leads from 6 months or even 2 years may finally convert. And momentum snowballs for agents are more consistent. You are the more your name is top of mind. It's like the grocery carriage technique. People see your face on the grocery carriage over and over again. They're going to eventually call you, right? So, as an investor, your consistent deal analysis, consistent networking for off-market deals and private funding, consistent portfolio reviews, rent increases, maintenance taxes. With the agent, it's consistent prospecting, consistent content creation, consistent follow-up. I mean, there's a lot of relevances there too. Investors win through continuing ownership. Agents win through consistency of effort. But when you combine the two, as many top producers do, you create a business with both cash flow and equity, and both short-term wins and long-term wealth. So that I feel like the agent that's out there grabbing onto some investment properties as well is the much more transactional agent, right? They understand. They're in the foxhole with you. Okay. And if you're an agent looking to become an investor, more so, consistency in your sales business funds your future deals. If you're an investor who's also licensed, consisting the market visibility and the networking gets you better deals and better partnerships. I mean, I'd love to get your thoughts to that, Felix, because you kind of play, you're trying to build that type of role play in your team building.
So I agree. And if you think about it, when I got into the business, I've been in real estate. I got my license in 2005. So when I got my license, I was already an investor for 2 years. I relinquished being an agent in 2019 because my market niche really was investors dealing with investors from a landlord perspective because I know Section 8, BRHP, Baltimore County Housing Choice Vouchers, market tenants, as well as just dealing with the investors. And I switched out of being a real estate agent and back into investing because to me, all of the work and nothing against real estate agents. I enjoyed it while I did it for the 15 years. However, I never prescribed that I wanted to really blow up to be this great real estate agent because I felt as though that me giving whatever percentage of money away to my real estate company on the other side, because I had already owned my own property management company, I was already doing my own tenant placement, that I was actually building a better network over on the investment side, as you mentioned, because my restrictions are less than it would be me being a real estate agent. Because when you're a real estate agent, you're 24/7, 365, a real estate agent, which then makes it that if you're not wearing your investment hat, then you have to follow every guideline of being a real estate agent, which can be restrictive. As you said, because you're part of this company, what are you, a buyer's agent, a seller's agent? Do you deal with investors? You have to find your niche and then start marketing, have farm marketing, all types of different things that as an agent, you're kind of like over here in this box. When you're an investor, when you start meeting these people, these title companies, these appraisers, you're actually going to get more business personally to meet on that side and grow a lot faster because you have those direct connections. You don't have a broker in between you that's going to tell you, hey, well, you could do this and you can do that, which is where I benefited because I was an investor first and learning a real estate agent. I knew what hats I could wear that me being having an LLC and me operating with my LLC within this time frame, I'm no longer a real estate agent and separating myself. One piece of great advice that I would give to people: never market on your email signatures your business if it's not the email for your business. Example, if you're a real estate agent and you got your real estate agent signature and then under it you have your business, separate it. Never market the two together because if something ever happened in your business, they can drag your real estate side of things into it. And again, that's my knowledge for the day. And I always appreciate being able to have these discussions with you, Joe, as well as helping others on the platform. Thank you for the opportunity as always.
Thanks, Felix. And how important is your real estate brand? Your real estate brand is everything, especially in a saturated, trust-based, relationship-driven industry. It's not just about your logos or colors. Your brand is your reputation, perception, and positioning in the market. So when people meet me and hey, I've heard about you, Joe, I said, well, guess what? All your opinions about me are absolutely correct. They start laughing because I'm sure people have varied opinions about me. But the one thing they could all agree is I'm extremely direct. I'll never bullshit you. I don't have time for it. And I don't think you have time to be bullshitted either. And I think, to me, number one is breathing. And then number two is telling the truth and winning together. Okay. I think your brand is your first impression before you even speak, right? You can do all the Google searching in the world, but when you talk to somebody and you embrace somebody in a conversation, it can go a couple different ways, right? It justifies the higher quality lead in positioning yourself with your brand. People don't remember the agent, like a person that's an agent. They remember the brand. Hey, that person got me to the finish line. They got me in front of the right people. They dominated the listing. They dominated the market for me. They understood the market. You want to hear those type of powerful statements by somebody in third party. Your brand builds leverage and longevity. Yeah, I'm involved in sponsoring a lot of these events. It's because my brand is expanding and has already been there. I'm just leveraging a little bit more. Okay. I can hold an event in California if I choose to. I'll still get 20 people at the room because I'm confident in my brand that I have context there that I could leverage that. We're going to get 20 people in the room. I don't need 100. I need the right 20 people in the room. I need the right 5 people in the room. And the consistency of brand builds trust. You will find people to work with you if they trust you. And the brand builds that, right? Whether it's through, and most of it now is through social media, of course. Okay, familiarity breeds comfort. Comfort leads to action. Your brand is not what you say you are, it's what your audience believes you are, right? If you're not actively building it, you're leaving money and opportunity and growth on the table. You need to define your real estate brand identity to multiply yourself in real estate and building leaders within your team. I never find myself a team leader. I want everybody to be leading in the team. Like, Yardell will often say, hey, Joe, you're the founder of this podcast. I said, no, no, no. We're co-founders. We found this together. We put the subject together. We put the website together. This is together. There's no founder. We're co. It's all together, right? When we do podcasts on one-on-ones, it's nice. It's comfortable setting. I want to meet people. I want to know people. I don't want it to be painful and cumbersome to put together a podcast with somebody. Either you're going to call me and we're going to talk about it, or you're going to email me the things I need, or we're not going to put it together. Because time has a value to everything we do. It's got to be cost-benefit relationship, right? Everything has a cost-benefit relationship in our space. And multiplying yourself, whether it's through social media, through networking, through events, to however channels you want to be and who you want to be in the real estate space is extremely important. I want to thank our sponsors today. I want to thank Mr. Yardell Perkins of Perkatech. I want to thank our moderators today, by the way, Tim and Felix first. They were fantastic. And guess what? They have no information in front of them. They're vetting this from their heart and their soul and transactional experience. So I want to thank them this morning. But I want to thank Mr. Yardell Perkins of Perkatech, who provides our social media platform, all my crazy ideas that go through my head, um, just different aspects of what we do from an architectural perspective, graphic arts perspective. I want to thank MB Capital Solutions, where I am a referral partner in the unsecured business line of credit space. I'd like to thank Lendmark Capital, where I'm senior loan analyst, providing nationwide asset-based lending in the DSCR, fixed to rent, fixed to flip, new construction, multifamily, mixed use, single family through four family space, strategy advisory nationwide. I'd like to thank Realty 411 with Ms. Linda Pelagas supporting our event and providing national events and national publication for real estate professionals throughout the country. I'd like to thank Lead Dealmakers, where I host events in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And I'd like to thank TCS Property Management, where my licenses are held in real estate in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but they provide property management and maintenance services throughout the East Coast, pretty much east of Mississippi, and a lot of major markets, property management presence. Um, and another great event room today with this discussion. We're here every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try to provide the best education, strategy, and direction in real estate for agents and professionals throughout the country. We're now celebrating our 100th plus uh, podcast. I think we're at like 102. We keep pushing this forward. We're going to now our goal is to get to 200 podcasts. And my quote this morning: push yourself to do more and to experience more. Harness your energy to start expanding your dreams. Yes, expand your dreams. Don't accept a life of mediocrity when you hold such an infinite potential within the fortress of your mind. Dare to tap into your greatness. Robin Sharma. I want to thank everybody this morning. Have a beautiful Sunday morning. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Creative Birth Strategies podcast and house here on Clubhouse and on our podcast. Be blessed, and I'll be ending the room in the next 30 seconds.